I'm a high achiever, which means that I always want to become the best version of myself. I want to go after crazy goals. I want to push myself beyond my limits. I've got big dreams, all of it. Now, the one thing I always used to struggle with, used to being the key word, is being able to focus on one goal instead of all the crazy goals that I have for myself in my life. Now, the thing is, whenever I got myself to actually focus on one goal, I always delivered 10x the amount of results, the quality, and I'm able to do it in shorter amount of time. That's why I started to do these things called 45-day beast mode unstoppable challenges to advance one goal at a time so that over a period of time, I would change the trajectory of my life and accomplish big goals. Recently, I did a 45-day challenge with a group of people as part of a mastermind. And on this episode, I'm gonna walk you through the 3 things we learned as we did it as a mastermind and the results that we got, and I'm gonna walk you through how exactly these 45-day beast mode challenges work. I'm TK, author of the book, How to Punch the Sunday Jitters in the Face. Super pumped, the book in physical form is here. Entrepreneur and angel investor. Welcome to Unstoppable Sundays. Now, a 45-day beast mode challenge is when you pause life and you say, look, I can either operate the way I'm going and I'm gonna stay on the status quo, or I'm gonna pick one specific measurable goal and I'm gonna commit to it. I'm gonna talk to my friends and family and my team and my company and get them on board on it. I'm gonna be very clear on exactly what my reward is gonna be when I accomplish that goal. I'm gonna create an action plan to go accomplish that goal, and then I'm gonna go crush it. For that 45 days, that goal is gonna be mine. I'm gonna focus on that, and I'm gonna be okay with that. Even though the little part of me is like, is this big enough? There are these other goals I wanna focus on as well. I'm okay with that because I know I committed to the 45 days. And what I do is over the course of a year, or in this case, in my case, over the course of a decade, I've done countless 45-day beast mode challenges to go from where I am to where I wanna be, one beast mode unstoppable challenge at a time. Now, the thing is, I've done these challenges either by myself when I felt stuck in life, or I wanted to launch a new project, or I wanted to get unstuck on a specific project that needed to be accelerated. And sometimes I did them with my team or my company. This time around, I was kicking off a 45-day beast mode challenge and I was going at it alone, and I got the idea, like, what if I invited random strangers to do it with me? And we'd all be working on our own goals, but I would teach them the principles on how to make these 45-day beast mode challenges successful. Here's a clip of when I actually kind of did a call to arms and said, look, if you accomplish everything you wanted to accomplish over the next 45 days, what would life look like after? And a whole bunch of people responded, and before I knew it, we were kicking off a mastermind, a legion of unstoppable people that would be working alongside me, checking in with me on a regular basis on doing this 45-day unstoppable challenge the way I taught them how to. The thing was, this was the first time I did it in sort of a mastermind form. All other times that I did a 45-day beast mode challenge, I either did it just for myself or I did it as part of my team. And with my team, I was the leader, so I said, look, we're gonna do this over a 45-day period. Here are our goals. Let's get together in a room. Let's create a war room. And I would kind of be the orchestrator of it, but we were all going after one goal. This was the first time there was a whole bunch of people, some of them strangers, all with different goals, and I was trying to corral them all together into this legion of people to all go at it together on their respective goals, but using the same methodology that I've used to do these 45-day beast mode challenges. I'll be honest, it was a little daunting at first, especially on that first day when all these people are signing on and they're committing. And I'm like, oh my God, I've never done like a mastermind before. Like, how would this work? I know how to do 45-day beast mode challenges. I've done enough where I know what goes wrong, what goes right, how to set it up properly. I know all those things, but this is like other people and their goals, and I don't want to waste their time. That all went out. I kind of got my mind together. I created a system. I made sure everyone was plugged in. And I gotta be honest, one of the first things we did was, as a group, we all went in and started to write in exactly what each of the people's goals are gonna be, why it's important to them, why they wanna change the status quo, how it's gonna impact their lives, their families' lives, how they're gonna actually reward themselves. And I was just taken aback. It was freaking inspiring. And I'm like, this is awesome. Like, if as a group, even half of us accomplish our goals, given how crazy the goals are, this is gonna be amazing. This is gonna be really, really cool. And so we kicked it off, and the way I set it up was, number one, I taught them how to set up their challenge properly. There's a good way to do it and there's a terrible way to do it. So we help them prepare, actually establish the right things, create an action plan, commit, all that stuff. And then every Sunday, we would pause and reflect. I would check in with them. We would have them submit a status on how things are going so that everyone knew in a leaderboard who's on track and who's not, and who's working and who's not. And I would send them a video like this, giving them a unique piece of advice on how to navigate the 45 days in life and in business and in other parts. For me personally, I did the challenge alongside them. For me personally, that 45-day period was incredible. I finally buckled down, and my goal was, how do I get unstoppable all together and launch this book? And look, the book is launched, it's on Amazon, we've got 5-star reviews coming, it's amazing. And so for me personally, it was another awesome 45-day beast mode challenge that really changed the trajectory of my life. Like, launching a book is it's game changing. But what was even more incredible were the other people that participated. So once we rounded out the 45-day beast mode challenge, we went through all those things that I just talked about. I did a survey. I said, all right, guys, thank you for doing this. Let's just figure out what worked and didn't work, because I think I want to do more of these. And I want to learn from you what worked well and didn't work well in this mastermind fashion. Let me first give you the results. First thing I learned were the results. So about 12 people signed up for this mastermind. Out of those, 7 people stayed committed and continued on with the challenge. They stuck with the challenge, they did it for the 45 days. The rest of them either disappeared, this was like a really quick, I put it together, or like had a thing in their family or had a change of heart, but 7 of them truly stayed and truly committed and continued on. And then 5 of them actually hit their goal. So one thing that was interesting was, out of the 12, 7 stuck through it and actually committed and kept going. And out of those, 5 actually hit their goal. But what was even more interesting was, even with the 7 people that committed, they saw benefits of having a focused 45 days, even if they didn't quite hit their goal. So overall, first mastermind, I was blown away. I did a call afterwards, after the mastermind was over, like a live Zoom call, just to get people together to share some more stories after I shared the results. And it was amazing to hear how much of a difference it made in people's lives, because they had this cause, because they had this accountability in the group, because they had this purpose, because they put in the time to create an action plan. They had an incredible 45-day period. And you know what the most surprising, yet not so surprising that I think about it, thing was? Even after the 45-day period was over, they said that they actually still had a physiological change where they were still in peak performance. So even though they weren't in this unstoppable challenge anymore, they were still going through their days on, all right, how do I get the most out of my days, and how do I continue to have more impact? So as we dug more into the results, there were 3 things that the group said were incredibly invaluable, and they would put even more effort into if they were to do another 45-day beast mode challenge. The first one was action plan. I'll admit, I'm big on action plans. Whenever I go after a 45-day beast mode challenge or a new project, I think of it like a bank heist. I love Ocean's 11, 12, 13, Gone in 60 Seconds, Italian Job. I love those movies because it's this crew of people that align around a goal. They really want to accomplish it, and they meticulously plan exactly how they're going to go attack it. And even if there are surprises that come along the way, and they always do in those movies, they always have a plan around it, or they course correct. And I'm a big fan of action plans. Now, the one mistake I made with this group, which I'll never make again, is I told these guys, all right, action plan, like, you should do it, it's optional, but like the more important thing is you commit and you have a clear goal, and that way you work on it every single day. Big mistake. Turns out the people that actually put time into their action plan actually got more results. I carefully, meticulously planned my action plan, and I got a lot of results. And everyone that didn't actually either dropped off or didn't get value. All the other things are important in how you set it up: committing, having a conversation with friends and family, having a clear goal, metrics, but having an action plan on your bank heist, treating it like a bank heist, was a game changer for everyone that succeeded in this cohort. The second thing was schedule time. This is one of the things that I always struggle with. I tend to overestimate how much time I will actually have to commit to certain goals. So when I have a whole bunch of goals, I'm like, oh, I can do all the things, I'll work extra hours. It never works. It never works, only the urgent gets done. You know how it is. And then you kind of feel bad about it. the people that actually schedule time for working on their actual goal or picked a goal that already had a lot of time, they were much more likely to be successful and were successful. And so hack number 2 or strategy number 2 was, if you're gonna commit to these 45 days, make sure you carve out the time to work on this. Now, look, life happens. You can't cut everything. You will still have responsibilities, but you'll be able to say no a lot more things. And so now, as part of my next mastermind, I've a lot of time to actually talk about how do you create an action plan, and a lot of time to talk about how do you actually carve out time. And if you don't have time, or you think you don't have time, how do you evaluate all the things that you have going on in your life? They're 24 hours in a day. How do you actually cut out some things so you can prioritize this goal? And then number 3 was accountability. The third thing that this group that actually succeeded and was on the call, the third thing that they actually said they got a ton of value from was this accountability from the group. And in a way, accountability to themselves because they committed, and accountability to their loved ones because they said, like, I'm gonna do this 45-day beast mode challenge. And so the third thing that I learned to harp in on is to make sure you establish accountability for yourself and from others. And also, we got accountability as a group because we did this together. Every Sunday, there was accountability. Where are you? How much did you accomplish? Are you closer to your goal? Are you on track? What's your metric? And that, in a way, even though like not every single person in the group looked at someone else's stats, that wasn't the case. I looked at them and I marked them red, yellow, green. But just that act of holding yourself accountable every Sunday, pausing and reflecting on how things are going, checking your metrics, drove accountability and increased the likelihood of success. Now here's how I think about 45-day beast mode challenges and unstoppable and life plans. I look at it in this simple way. So here is where I am now, and here is where I want to be 5 years from now. Now, so often, us high achievers, we want everything right now, and we're willing to work for it, we're willing to work extra for it, we're willing to get burnt out just so we get all the things that we want. The flaw in that is when you try to do that, you end up neither here nor there. You take on too many goals, you don't get far enough, you don't prioritize the things, and then you get frustrated and you give up because you're not seeing the progress. That sucks. That's why I love these 45-day beast mode challenges, because I look at, here's where I am now, here's where I want to be 5 years from now, and little by little, over the course from now to 5 years from now, I'm going to do 45-day challenges, multiple 45-day challenges to slowly build up my trajectory and go towards where I want to be, to change my life. That's why these things are so powerful. And if you are wondering, well, I don't know where I want to be 5 years from now, TK, I don't even know where I am now. Well, that's where like this book comes in. My book talks about that. But we're not here to talk about the book today. You can check it out on Amazon, How to Punch the Sunday Jitters in the Face, if you want a life plan. But if you want to change the next 45 days of your life, this is the thing to do. Do you want an unstoppable 45-day beast mode challenge? The one thing I've done now is I've taken everything I've learned over the last 10 years on doing these challenges. I've taken everything I've learned from the feedback from this first group with the results that we've gotten, and I've said we can do even better. And I want to do more of these challenges with more people, with more high achievers, and teach them how they can accomplish all the big things they want to achieve, but they can do it one goal at a time, one challenge at a time. And over the course of doing this for a decade or 5 years, or even, like, let's say you do 3 of these 45-day challenges this year alone, think of how much you'll improve your life and improve the trajectory of your life. So I've taken everything I've learned, taken everything I know, and I've created a 45-day unstoppable beast mode challenge and workshop. I've created an entire video course that explains exactly how to set all this stuff up. Now, I grazed over a few of the steps there. In the workshop, it's module after module, lesson after lesson. It walks you through how to set up your challenge, prepare for your challenge, all of it. Have the conversation in terms of your challenge, and then kick off the challenge. I hook you in to my exclusive legion of unstoppable people. So every Sunday we check in together on a group call, and we actually have a leaderboard on progress, and that way we can all go at it together. So I've taken everything I've learned, I've built it into this mastermind, this course. I've added in all these components of building an action plan, making sure you schedule time, driving accountability. I'm super pumped about it, and I'm kicking off my next batch of a legion of unstoppable people that want to do these 45-day challenges, that are high achievers, that want to focus in on a goal and really have massive results, and then do it again and again and again. That's what I'm doing right now, and I'm super pumped about it here at Unstoppable. If you are a high achiever and you're interested in this 45-day challenge, there's a link below. I have a webinar coming up. In that webinar, I'm gonna explain 3 more secrets that I've learned on how to make these beast mode challenges work, how to make these unstoppable beast mode challenges the most successful for you. So if you're interested in doing this, if this resonates with you, if you're a high achiever, you've got so many goals and you're like, oh my God, I wanna do so much. Look, the way to do it is one at a time, one challenge at a time, and build up on that and have it compound so that you can go from where you are now to where you wanna be in the future. If you're interested in that, follow the link below, come join my webinar, and I'll teach you my 3 secrets. I'll tell you more about my legion of unstoppable people, and I'll tell you about my 45-day beast mode course that I'm extremely pumped about. And remember, most importantly, everyone needs a strategy and a plan for your life, but yours needs to be unstoppable. I'm TK, thank you for watching. I do these videos every Sunday. So if you're a high achiever and this resonated with you, do me a favor. Say yes in the comments below. Hit the like button, and if you want to see more videos like this, where I teach high achievers on how to focus, how to live a more proactive life, and how to become unstoppable, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell. That way you'll be notified every single time I publish a video on a Sunday. I hope you have an amazing week. I hope you do this 45-day beast mode challenge to change the trajectory of your life. I hope you join me in my webinar, and I hope I see you soon. I'm TK, and I'll see you next Sunday.